Thank you very much, and welcome to all the panelists here. Uh, we spoke earlier about technology disruption, and people are centered to it. And this is something that we're going to talk about, that, in terms of making a people-first organization. If we could start with Mr. Kumar, in terms of, you come from a hospitality industry, and people touch is something that's very, very deep in this industry. It can make and break a business. What has been the mantra, if I can ask, for your business? And you have a multi-locational, multi-country presence. So how do you tackle the people issues?
Great. First of all, thank you very much for the opportunity and for the audiences. I think proud to say that I'm representing a legacy which is 67-year-old, started in 1957 by our Tata. Currently is run by the third generation entrepreneur who is my managing director, Mr. Satish Nagasamy Dhanabalan. And I think I'm the only person who's in this thing, probably a non-manufacturing, non-tech kind of a thing, but it's been supported by the technology. I think in the previous thing, Mr. Unmesh Mehta was saying that artificial intelligence is going to be the next thing, but that can help our business, but cannot replace business probably like me. Okay, because you need, I always believe that it's not artificial intelligence, it's apply intelligence. The biggest problem which actually happens today is people don't apply the intelligence. So if you apply the right intelligence, I don't think so you need artificial intelligence. Okay, that's my thing. Great. So how do we actually keep our people all across the globe is, number one, we look at create a sense of belongingness with our people. That's the number one. Why we say this? Because I think we are proud to say that we are a restaurant brand which has been running for the last so many years with a legacy. Okay, so when we actually hire a people, when we actually recruit people, we do not say that you work for a restaurant chain. So we actually say that you are working for a legacy. So when you say that you are going to work for a legacy, it's a history with so much things, and that actually makes the person to belong to the business or the brand what we do. Number two is the company what we are today is, we say this is the 3.0 because the third generation is actually running it. The best thing is we actually have a 50-50 kind of a match between a promoter and the professionals. And I'm proud to say that our MD, who actually empowers our people, and that's one of the reasons which I am here, not my MD is here. So we empower people to make sure that they actually take the decision and things. Number two, we keep everything very, very simple. For example, if you go to any of the companies, they talk about employee engagement, employee benefits, something really, really big and large enough to say that yes, we are doing this. But business like ours is actually very, very simple. We don't really bombard or talk anything big about it. For example, I can proudly say that our business has been run with 100% compliance in terms of giving every single benefit, including the cashless mediclaim, to the term life policies, to the hostels, because we have got multicultural, multi-language kind of a people. So unless until if you don't take care of them properly, they don't stay with you. That's the number two we look at it. And number three we look at as keeping the communication very, very strong and clear. That's very, very important. So we have got multiple channels of communication through our leaders. So we've got a hierarchy which is there in place. We communicate directly to the ground level team. And our MD, we always believe that connecting with the ground level team is very, very crucial in terms of growing the business.
Interesting. If I can turn to Dr. Chitnis, you yourself have been very closely worked with on the AI and the computer systems, and of course the university does a lot of work on that. How do you see AI changing and its application changing the people culture within organizations?
Yeah, first of all, good evening to all the business leaders here, and thanks for the opportunity. I think this is a very pertinent question when things are becoming more and more artificial. We are losing touch with real rapport and friendship and going towards social media and those kind of things, especially for students. But
absolutely.
So I think this AI is actually on the other side is going to empower people, right? It's going to free up our time to be more human. So let me explain what I mean by that. See, so far we are all kind of slaves of time and resources like that, right? We are all part of either factories or shop and establishment, etc., right? Whether we are CEOs or not, right? So we are bound by those rules and all. But at the same time, we have to run after targets and doing things, etc. With a student, they have exams. When you are a company, you have deadlines and targets. AI is actually extremely empowering. So today, for example, you may not have skill of drawing or sketching, right? But you can use your creativity, ideas, and use AI to make that into reality, right? You may not be a good musician or a movie maker. You can create a script and have that video generated, right, in no time. You can write a love letter even if you don't have power to express. You have that feeling, but you don't know how to express. You can use AI to put the words for that, right? So that is the empowerment I'm talking about. And same thing for business. So when you are at workplace, whatever, whether it's from simple emails to creating strategy plans or long-term things, AI is there to help. Of course, AI is not perfect. There are a lot of shortcomings. Hopefully, over the next few years, decades, it will keep on improving. So at some point of time, I think, as you rightly said, that being human and human culture is going to give us more time to think about that, develop good rapport at workplace, and be what you are as a human, right, and to express that. That I think AI will make possible. It's a kind of not so critical, but I think personally that will happen.
Interesting, as a follow-up to that, same this thing, but you see that as employees connect with customers, you see that equation is going to change with more use of technology. How do you see that equation changing?
Yeah, so on one side, when companies want to save money by not having person for making, for example, telecalling or customer support kind of thing like that, right? But at the same time, people on the others, I think, let me give that one example, right? When banks, for example, right, they had an online thing. There were some stories which says that old people actually go to bank and they want to withdraw 100 rupees, etc. Not because they need 100 rupees, but maybe just to get to talk to people there like that, right? So when you have free time, definitely I think social connection will be more important. And in that regard, I think people will value the personal touch when you get that, right? So even if you may have robots at home to do all the work, people may still prefer somebody coming and doing something good for you. Like
absolutely.
That may not have to be swiping, cleaning the vessels or something like that, but at least to chat, talk, make connections, have friendship, have dinner, those kind of things like that, right?
Absolutely.
So
I can totally empathize with you on that bank example. I recently visited after many years I visited us, and I could see mostly senior citizen and people interacting with the,
True.
It's totally, I can totally take that. Sure. Nidhee, you have been working with clients, helping them sort of, make their organizations more adapt to people-friendly organizations. What are the questions that clients are asking you? What is it, the main, say, concerns that they have or challenges that they face? What are they telling you?
First off the bat, very happy to be here. Thank you so much. Great audience, August Company. I think, see, it's like this, right? Our parents had challenges with us and we have challenges with our children. And that's exactly what our clients are going through. But having said that, I think these days, not only clients, I mean the companies that even we work for, I think there has come a paradigm shift in the way people look at their work.
Okay.
When we started working, and I'm sure you and I are in the same category, for us, we wanted a good job. It was meant to be a job. We said, okay, do I get to learn? Do I get good money? Can I take care of my family? There was an ambition, etc., etc. I see so many youngsters today, and I have been on the wrong side of this because I have led companies where the average age is 26 and I'm barely pulling it up to 27, 28, and where the average age is 60 and I'm barely bringing it down to 50. I've seen on both sides, but I think the biggest problem that companies face today is that today's youth is very clear in their thought process.
Okay.
So they will say that I don't resonate with this ideology and can you excuse me from this project? Okay. I don't think I ever had the courage at 24, 25 to tell someone it doesn't work for me, can I be excused? But I see children today doing that. And I think that is where organizations are becoming more agile. They're becoming more respecting of, what person's ideologies are. And that adjustment is taking time. And I think most questions are centered around that.
So what is your advice to clients in that case? What do you tell them to do or not do?
See, I'm not a psychologist to tell them what to do, what not to do. But what I generally tell them is that if someone it doesn't resonate with someone, there's no point, because the quality of output is going to be so bad that it really doesn't matter. And two is, I think it's just important to have happy people, because it's, getting talent is becoming more and more challenging. Retaining good talent is very imperative.
Absolutely.
Because, that's how you build legacy. Otherwise, you're always on a hamster wheel of information and knowledge in the company. So I tell them that let them enjoy what they do, let them be happy. But also, honestly, I'm one of those, and I'm a mom to 2 adults. So I also tell them that you have to draw a line, that it goes only so far. After that, no, not done.
Interesting. Now, Mr. Kumar, I'm just curious to understand, you come from hospitality, restaurant business. Dark stores have come in the recent, all of us order food. That connect that, the customer and that employee connect is taken away now, I'm ordering food on the phone, it comes to my home, and that pleasure of going to a restaurant, sitting, getting served, somehow that is missing. How do you see that evolving? The fact that technology has made it so convenient for me to order food, but there's a missing link here, which is the customer and the employee connect here.
So in today's world, what is actually happening is, you have to distinguish between 2 things. One is experience, another is a task. What is actually happening today is a task. A person who's ordering on a Zepto, Swiggy, Zomato, your task. It's not an experience. In the sense, I'm feeling hungry, I have to eat. So my job is to eat, so I'm ordering. So that's a task. When I go to a restaurant, eat, that's an experience. So we should not actually complicate or get carried away by that, this is going to happen. Yes, the technology is actually helping business like ours to actually grow, and especially post-COVID has actually changed a lot. The entire topography, demography is actually changed completely. And to an extent, the work from home cultures also made the people not to fire their kitchen. So today's scenario, if you look at the Gen Zs of the world, they do not want to fire the kitchen. Boss is very, very happy. For example, I have a few of my friends, they don't even have a gas connection. I ask, why, boss, why should I cook? That's the kind of a question which actually comes. So we cannot actually get, carried away, but the 2 different things. In our business, what we actually look at is the dark kitchens or the cloud kitchens, whatever we actually say, it's not going to compete with our business.
Okay.
It's going to complement our business. So how we actually look at it is like the 2 experiences. So when you come to a restaurant, you actually look at the smile at the table. So when you actually come into a table, you actually see some person, there's a soul. There's a soul who actually comes to the table, actually smiles. So I call it the smile at the table. So we call the EOT, eye on the table. So when you actually go to a table, you actually look at a customer, smile at him. That's a personal, that's an aura, that's a pleasant surprise, or something which actually comes in. Whereas you actually do a service experience in a delivery stroke online model, their service expectation is different. So in a restaurant you come, the service experience is all about, I come, somebody has to welcome me, somebody has to service me, somebody has to talk to me. That's the experience. On an online platform, the experience is packaging, the pricing, whether it's billed, it's the experience of that is completely different.
Exactly.
So we are very, very clear.
It's more of a logistics business. Like.
Yeah. So we are very, very clear in logistics. So we as Thalappakatti, we look at our business is both has to coexist. So one cannot eat each other. So it's going to coexist. And we are comfortably balancing both together, because the customers actually ordering from the online platform is not an alien who's experienced my product is actually ordering through my platform. So it's not somebody, you will not order a product which you do not know. So for me, the dark kitchens which actually started in the post-COVID era, lots of cloud kitchens actually died. Lots of cloud kitchens came, they all died. Because the customer do not have a confidence, trust on that particular product. Whereas they see product like us, okay, yes, I have seen a Dindigul Thalappakatti, this is the product I have seen, I've experienced, Yes, I actually can eat in these places. That's the thing. Second, what you asked on the data, how you experiencing, we have got excellent data, connect how to actually, distinguish between this. On the dining experience, we are one of the probably only restaurant chain in the country who actually connect with close to 20% of our dining customers. So we do a personalized call. And we take the feedback at every single item level. So my CRM head who actually looks at the entire thing into service, ambience, the food, the taste, the presence. We look at every single thing and we give the feedback, connect with my team. On the other side, if you look at the delivery platform, we actually got, there are 2-3 very, very important things which you actually look at it. One is called KPT. So what is the kitchen preparation time? So if somebody is actually looking at app opening, it actually shows that your food will arrive in 27 minutes. That means that kitchen is faster. That's called KPT. So that's what we actually do the behind. The algo actually looks at those kind of things and actually prompt you. If some restaurant says that it will take 1 hour time, that means the kitchen is very, very slow. And second thing, we actually look at the IGCC, the instant gratification of consumer complaints. So that we actually look at, it has to be below 1.3, 1.4. If you get below that, you get more order. That means the customer feels that this particular brand gives a better product, better packaging, and right kind of a product. So these are things which you actually look at the data at very, very micro level and balance both equally. And we are very, very sure that both is going to complement, not going to compete each other.
So what you are saying is basically AI has already entered the kitchen.
Yes, it's already, yeah, absolutely, it's true, yes.
Very interesting. Yeah. Dr. Chitnis, especially from, from an academic point of view, institution like yours, how are you preparing the next generation for this AI workplace? Because all workplaces will have AI, and we like it or not. So how are you preparing for them?
Yeah, so first let me acknowledge that many of our students are very smart, especially Gen Z. I myself learned about this ChatGPT December 22. It came in just last week of November, within 1 week. In Metro I was traveling, there was a student team chatting about ChatGPT. I came to know through them, right? So many times we have to trust the Gen Z people and make sure that together actually we are learning like that, right? But having said that, see today students do this mug it all kind of thing, right? Before exam you mug and give.
Yeah.
Now it has gone to prompt it well. Like that, right? So if they have to do assignments, if they have to do projects, etc., they have to write the good prompt. So what we are doing is, see, we cannot eliminate ChatGPT or use of AI from exams or something like that, right? So we have two kinds of things. So first of all, definitely we have to prepare students there, not only at physical level, health, etc., but also mental, intellectual kind of development. For that, they have to practice. It doesn't come just by sitting in the classroom, right? They have to practice, practice, practice. For that, they cannot use ChatGPT. Right?
Okay.
So we make sure that happens. Today, maybe student presentation, we are allowing PowerPoint, but we are encouraging, no, you go back to whiteboard or blackboard, you talk continuously instead of editing and typing and all and explain, right? On the other side, they have to really start achieving bigger and bigger thing, take up complex tasks, grand challenges by using AI, right? So for that, they are actually encouraged strongly to use AI, but prepare more creative and bigger tasks kind of thing. To enable that at REVA University, we started this AI First University kind of initiative. We call it AI Mindset First, like that, right? So all streams, like all degrees, whether it's law, sports science, business, of course, computer science, all engineering branches, we have now basic AI in the curriculum. So that really teaches prompt engineering, how to use English for data analysis, right?
Okay.
Today we don't need Python or R or something. You can just talk to whether Google Sheets or Excel in English and create nice charts, etc. And also advanced course in the same branch, whether it's bioinformatics and computer science. So using AI, how they can do drug discovery, using AI, how they can do material design. So that thing we already incorporated. We have built certain kind of tools, uses AI. We hired a person who is like industry expert to develop exam system, like create AI-based this thing, question bank, right? Also study buddy, so that student can learn personalized thing from them. For research buddy, so all the research work done in the university is in one place and people can query and get input based on that, right? So those kind of AI-based tools are now available, right? And we are going to build more and more. We introduce in curriculum interesting courses like what they call vibe coding. So not only manual coding, but today, first year, the second year semester itself, our students are learning program with Copilot, Microsoft Copilot, yeah. Higher semester, sixth semester, introduce AI-based application development. So instead of regular projects, now they have started to do products where they have to understand the market, consumer, and start addressing their needs, right? So that we are incorporating in curriculum. For that, we have trained all our faculty into basics of AI, all students also. For innovation, actually, we interestingly conducted one program. It's called AI Venture Studio. So MIT in US, Professor Ramesh Raskar runs that course for 11 months, right?
Okay.
So he was nice enough to come here and actually train innovators here, startups, etc. So the Venture Studio idea is to increase the success rate of startups like that, right? So there are very senior people who can explain that. That course itself uses AI to really grill the people, just like a venture capitalist will ask questions and drill, like that, at that level. So we are trying to bring the best in the world to give to our innovator students. So finally the goal is, with all those things, students should really feel empowered to be innovators, and they should be able to contribute. Because AI economy is really going to be on steroids. Right? So that's why it's necessary for students to prepare for that kind of speed using it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that is what.
Interesting.
Nidhee,
on the same lines, you also, I believe, mentor a lot of students and guide them. And so, what is your advice to them? Like when you are going out and talking to them, or I'm pretty sure it's a to and fro, it's a exchange of ideas. We learn more from them actually.
Yeah. It's absolutely very humbling to go to colleges and teach. Incredibly humbling. If you've not done it, you must try. Seriously. A few things that I tell youngsters in offices, because gray hair allows you to preach without being asked. And second is in colleges is 2 or 3 things you have to do in life. First is you have to go to work. Whilst during COVID there was this disproportionate work from home, etc., you will realize that now offices are calling people back, and there's a reason for it. You learn, you collaborate, you learn creativity, but most importantly, you learn simple things like how do you present in a room? What are the slides that you don't show and what are the slides that you show? How do you field a question? Which typically doesn't happen on a Zoom call. You switch off your camera and you go away.
Exactly.
I tell them that go to office, because then you'll start wearing office clothes, which is very important to put you in the mindset. Very old school. Start reading books, because again, you're married to the blue screen doesn't happen, because a lot of books are not available in digital format. So when I teach, at MBA colleges, I tell them that you have to read Piyush Pandey's Pandemonium. I mean, there's no way you can do a marketing course without it. That book is not available otherwise. You have to read a book. So read a book, go to office, go to office 3 to 4 days a week, do your due diligence, work hard. And at the end of the day, all of us in our careers, we reach a stage where we have to not only disrupt, but we have to actually take a leap of faith. And the leap of faith comes from gut. It doesn't come from any amount of data, AI, recommendation, nothing. When you look at something and your gut says, go for it, you have to go for it. But the point is that, when we were young, our gut, 2 things happened. One is we were in a meeting room, we spoke of the idea, someone picked it up, someone senior endorsed it and said, let's run with it.
Yes.
And the second thing happened is that we also had the courage and the ability to think through something and come up with, our gut got honed after a point in time.
Absolutely.
We say now that, okay, 99% decisions you and I will take the same, because that 1% gut is where it will differ. I think that building of the gut feel, which scientifically is now proven to be an absolute must-have, is something that gets built when you work with people. You get told no 5 times, yes 6 times, laughed at, poked. But I think it's an essential life skill if you want to grow in life as a human being and as a professional as well. So these are the few things that I tell organizations, my mentees, colleges, MBA aspirants. My children don't listen, that's a different matter.
I think same story everywhere.
But
you'd agree that hybrid workspaces is something that's going to stay now?
It will stay. It will stay. See, I'll tell you, because what has happened is, before COVID, fortunately, I had a boss who used to tell me, I don't care where you work from, right? But I think you might know him, Sivel Srinivas. So Srini is Srini, right? I don't care where you work from. But I know a lot of people who were absolute naysayers saying, no, not a chance in hell. And then came COVID and everybody said, yes, yes, yes. I think we went to the other extreme and we said, don't come back. I think hybrid is going to stay, because what has also happened is people have realized that, it gives you that at least decompression time. It allows you to, I know so many children who take work from home on a Friday and then they travel to the home cities where their parents are, live with their parents. It allows them to have a life which is enriching. And I think that that value will be far greater than the lace chip packet called CTC. So wherever I have the flexibility to spend time with my loved ones, take care of my dog, spend 1 extra hour walking my dog, I think it is going to stay, and it's a big currency.
Absolutely. I totally endorse that. You know, interestingly, Mr. Kumar, you represent a brand which is a legacy brand, you know, and there are lots of brands in India which are, you know, family-owned businesses, family-owned brands, which have aspirations to go global. You know, what would be your message to them in terms of, you know, when they want to grow, there's also a culture issue, there's also a people issue, you know. How should they look at it, you know, from your own lived experiences?
Okay, I think as a brand, before even we actually become a national brand, we actually become an international brand. I think 2014, when we had just 30, currently now we are at 109 outlets. When we had 27, 28 outlets, our first outlet was opened in US by our MD. So it was a great leap jump. So before even coming to Bangalore or Karnataka stroke other states, we had outlets in 6 countries. So Singapore, Malaysia, Middle East, France, US and Sri Lanka. And today Sri Lanka, we are the largest biryani brand. We have got 7 outlets, we are doing exceedingly well. So when you are actually going to another country, so one of the things which our MD always believes is that you are not actually exporting your brand, you are exporting your legacy. So when you're actually taking away a brand, the customer expects the same kind of a legacy, same kind of a taste, same kind of a tradition in the place where you're actually going to be. Yes, you're carrying the legacy, you're exporting your brand. At the same time, you have to stay relevant for that place where we're actually going to be. So in the sense, you have to be globally consistent, at the same time, stay relevant for the local. So if these two things are actually taken care, believe me, we'll be able to do a fantastic thing. At the same time, what you asked for is on the people side. So currently, I think I can proudly say that one of the biggest thing what we do is we actually, today, the person who's actually handling 2 of our largest region, whether my culinary team or my operations team, my 2 regional chefs are with us for the last close to 15 years, and they actually grown from the smallest level, and they are handling 100 crores of business. If you look at my cluster head, who's actually handling 100 crores of business, they have grown from internal. If you look at my procurement head or my IT head or from my CRM head, everybody's internally grown. So we actually grow the people and we export them to different places.
Okay.
So they actually carry the legacy, they carry the recipe, they carry my culture to the places. At the same time, we take the local talent who will actually also support us. So we are local. How do we mix the local and our heritage? Right blend is the key in terms of making the business very, very successful.
Very interesting. Dr. Chitnis, like in terms of, we discussed technology earlier and culture, you know. So when you marry technology and culture, you know, how do you see this workplace evolving going forward? What's your take on the workplace when you marry technology and culture?
Yeah, just before I answer that, I just realized that there is a lot of common between restaurant and universities, okay? So talking about culture and all. See, just like he mentioned about quick service, the restaurant experience versus delivery experience.
Yeah.
Here also we have university experience versus online education experience. Right?
Yes.
So it's the same thing. Online education, people just go to get certificates and of course learn. But here they get complete student experience in university, right? That not just restricted to learning, but also making relationship, friendship for life. That's why we have strong alumni network, etc. Right? So that's definitely a lot of common with that. So, and that's related to the culture and technology
Absolutely.
what you mentioned. So here as a university, right, we are dedicated not just to prepare inputs to industries or higher education. We are actually preparing next citizens, right? And
Exactly.
that citizenship involves by having the right culture imbibed in them, like that, right? And that's what we try to do through various courses. So whether it's a technology courses or business courses, we should have a very strong component of humanities, social sciences, those kind of things. We have Center of Excellence for Geopolitical Studies. So those kind of issues when students come across, right, they develop their critical thinking. So today, those things are very important for them to go beyond being a nerd or just a simple business leader talking of numbers or making decisions. So I think that aspect of culture, being a part of society, being a good citizen, I think that's what we should imbibe in addition to technology. Today, technology is given for everybody, not just for engineering
Absolutely.
people. Even sports science also, they are actually having projects, programs using very high-tech technology to give feedback, how their performance is, etc. Right? So technology is everywhere, but at the same time, culture and humanity should be also everywhere. That's what we try to do.
We're just about to run out of time. I want to ask a last round this thing. Anyone, I'll start with you. One point that you would like to highlight when it comes to, the people issue, especially with we are seeing a lot of clash between culture and technology now in the workplaces. What is one thing that stands out for you and you'd like as a message? And the same question to others too.
See, I think workplaces are slightly different because the workplace culture is the organizational culture and hardly goes into a clash with technology. Typically they're very symbiotic in nature. But what I do see of my clients who deal with culture is that somewhere there was a shift. We all wanted to become very global, very multinational, etc., etc. And I see this across some 10 markets that I run today as well, is that every country is going through a reorganization of saying what is in it for me and does it resonate with me.
Okay.
So you will suddenly see every brand trying to compete with a local player who's found that one thing which works, a local nuance that work. So, and that's stiff competition. They were ankle biters about 4 years ago. Today they are tight competition across. So you take any category, you take it a biscuit, cookie, MFD, etc. You'll find that the local cultural nuance of a Maharashtrian mother versus a South Indian mother versus a Punjabi mother is actually playing out in a supermarket.
Yeah, that's right. Interesting. Dr. Chitnis, any final take on the same issue? Like when you see culture and technology clashing with each other?
Yeah, I really don't see clash. It's basically perspective of human being, right? Internally, how do we take it? So yes, definitely technology will change the culture. There's a lot of impact. You see now Gen Z is talking into their different language, right? So that has come because of working on social media like that, right? So yes, it does actually change the culture, but finally we are same human beings, right? So at that level, human connection, aspirations, what they want in life, happiness, everything actually is a little bit independent of technology. That's my personal opinion. Thank you.
Mr. Kumar, any last word?
I think our food is flavorful, so is our people. So we have got South Indian, North Indian dishes, XYZ, all those things. If you look at my people also, I got approximately 6-7 states of people, different languages. So what we do is we actually make sure that everybody is treated equally. That's number one. Number two, there's a clarity in terms of communication. That's a number two which we actually do. And number three, we do lots of programs in terms of engaging with each of the people to make sure that everybody comes together as one team, what we actually call it. So that's the third thing which we actually do. And the last thing we actually look at is we ensure that everybody's got enough on their plate to do and contribute for the business, then they actually do something else. So making everybody together for one particular purpose is the important thing, which our team, which we have a clear structured team which actually takes care of their own role, and we are able to, so far we are managing it well for last 67 years. I'm sure we should be able to do that for the years to come.
Interesting. So your employees' plate is full and your customers' plate is also full. Right?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely, yes.
Great. Thank you everyone, and thank you all the three of you for your.
Thank you.
I think it was a lovely conversation. Thank you.